Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to do something a bit different. Before I started my channel, I've been drinking whiskey for a couple of years. I've kept all the empty bottles, but I'm going to have to put them out to recycle because they're taking up too much space. But before I throw them out to be recycled, I'm going to show you briefly what I've been drinking. I'm going to talk a little bit about each one, give you my overall impressions about each bottle, and I will also give them a score. First is Glengarry double cask. I've spoke about this in a previous video. It's really nice, especially for the price. If you can get hold of this, I highly recommend picking it up. 8 out of 10. Next is Tobermory 10-year-old. I love this one. It's a bit different to the other whiskies in my collection. It's got an unusual taste. It's not overly sweet. It's a bit salty and a bit vegetal, minerally. Definitely going to buy this one again. A 9 out of 10, highly recommended. Next is Ben Nevis 10-year-old. I really enjoyed this one. It was only £29. Didn't blow me away. Didn't think it was terribly complex, but it was delicious. I recommend picking this one up, guys. A strong 8 out of 10. Next is Ardbeg 10-year-old. I really like this one as well. I wasn't too impressed when I first opened it. It's only 40% alcohol. Thought it tasted a bit flat, a bit watery. But as the bottle went down, the flavours started to jump out a bit more. Got nicer the more I drank. It's very cheap. It's 20 something pounds. I think this is good for the beginner. It's not too strong. It's easy to drink. I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10. Very nice. Next is TenYear. This is a blended single malt. I really like this one as well. Didn't last long. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't too expensive either. 40 something pounds. Bit unusual, this one. Very complex. It's a little bit peaty, if you like that kind of thing. sweet and also savoury. Very good. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 as well. It might have been higher if it was a little bit cheaper. Next is Buffalo Trace bourbon. This was the first bourbon that I tried. I went through this bottle very fast. It was delicious, very sweet compared to Scotch whisky. It was also very cheap, around £23. This is an excellent beginner bourbon. If you want to try bourbon, I recommend getting this. Great value for money, and for that reason I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next is Long Row Peated Campbelltown Scotch Whisky. This is one of the best whiskies that I've tried so far. I wasn't very impressed when I first opened the bottle. It's very lightly peated. I wasn't picking up too much flavours, but as the bottle went down, it got more and more complex. This is one of my favourites. I'm definitely going to replace this one very soon. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. A must buy. Next is Glengarry 13-year-old Spacehike single malt. I love this one as well. A little bit more complex than a regular Spacehike, I think. A little bit richer. A little bit stronger as well, 46%. This was distilled in worm tubs, so I think that made a slight difference. Wasn't cheap, but I might pick this one up again. Going to give this an 8 out of 10. Very nice. Next is Glengarry 11-year-old. This is a Highland single malt. This was very expensive, £75. It's a limited edition. There's only 282 bottles of this stuff. It's also from a single cask. I did like it, but I thought it was a bit overpriced. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7. Decent. Next is Green Spot Chateau Leoville Barton. This is a special edition of Green Spot. It was matured in Bordeaux wine casks for a certain amount of time. It's a no age statement Irish whiskey. This is a step up from the regular Green Spot. It's a little bit stronger at 46%. It's absolutely delicious stuff. You can definitely taste the wine cask influence in this. Taste strawberries, boiled sweets, lots of different flavours in this. Very complex Irish whiskey. Highly recommend buying this one. Lovely stuff. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. amazing. Next is Adelphi blended Scotch whiskey. This was one of the first whiskies that I tried. I think it was the second one. I picked this up because it was only $19.99. We've got good recommendations, but I wasn't too impressed with this at first. It is peated. I wasn't too keen on the peat when I started out, but I persevered with it. I started to really enjoy it after a few drams. I highly recommend this one. It's a good, cheap blended malt. I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. Very good. Next is Old Pulteney 12-year-old. This was the first whiskey that I ever bought. I'm not going to talk too much about this one. I'm going to do a review of this very soon. What I will say is pick it up. It's very good. Next is Powers John's Lien 12-year-old Irish whiskey. I love this stuff. It wasn't cheap. I think it was around £60, but I think it was worth it. It was like drinking liquid gold. Very gentle, very sweet. I think I've got a little bit of sherry in this. It's a little bit spicy as well. If you haven't tried this, I highly recommend it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Lovely, lovely stuff. Next is Glengarry 12-year-old Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. This is one of the nicest whiskies that I've drank. It's very rich, full of flavour. This was matured in bourbon and sherry casks. It's not overly sherry though, but it's definitely there. It's also 48% alcohol. It wasn't very expensive either. It was around £40. I also like the bottle. This is excellent. If you haven't tried this, this is a must try, a must buy. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Next is Red Leg Spiced Rum. I also like rum. This was very cheap. £22 I think it was. It's very spicy. It's also very fruity and sweet. It's also good to use as a mixer in Coke or ginger beer, how I have it sometimes. It's also nice to sip neat. I'm going to give this a 8 out of 10. Highly recommend it if you like rum. Last but not least is Auchentoshan 3 wood. Again, I also enjoyed this one. Didn't blow me away though. It was very gentle, easy to drink. I think this was aged in bourbon, sherry casks, virgin oak, I think. It's not overly sherried, but you can definitely taste it. It's also triple distilled, so it's very smooth. The only downside is it was quite expensive. It was £50-something. I'll give this a 7 out of 10. If it was a bit cheaper, I might have given it a higher mark. Good stuff. Okay, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed my short video. Please subscribe if you enjoy my channel. Hit the like or the dislike. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care. Bye for now.